Millette murder trial is getting close. Prosecution wrapped up yesterday, defense making their case today. So we'll take you back inside the courtroom for testimony from canine handlers trained to detect human remains.
The state's gas tax went up today. Will that affect people's 4th of July travel plans? I'm working for you on that and ways to save.
Setup is underway for this year's Big Bay Boom. We'll tell you what to expect from this year's show. And if you can't see this one, we'll tell you about other fireworks displays across the county.
The Coronado Rotary Club celebrates 100 years of putting service before self.
Thousands of state workers are pushing back, rallying in Sacramento today as Governor Newsom's return to office mandate finally kicks in. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Stephanie Simmons, in tonight for Marcella. State workers have been pushing back ever since the governor first announced the mandate. News 8 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huff joins us now from the state capitol with details.
State employees say they're still frustrated. Many of them, since the pandemic, have been working a hybrid form, going in person about 2 to 3 days a week. Now with this mandate, most of them would be required to go in person to the office at least 4 days a week. These west steps here at the Capitol were packed earlier Wednesday as state workers from across the state gathered to protest Newsom's mandate.
This is worker power!
With the start of July came the start of Governor Newsom's return to office mandate. Most state employees must work in person at the office at least 4 days a week.
It's already not going well.
People literally have chosen to set up their lives around these hybrid schedules.
According to the Department of Human Resources, the RTO mandate will affect about 108,000 employees who telework, many of them on a hybrid schedule. Thousands took time off work Wednesday to rally at the state capitol.
We're currently desk sharing as it is, so if they wanted us to come in, where would we go? What would we do?
One of the biggest concerns from state workers is whether there's enough office space and equipment to support the return.
And some of them are being called to conference rooms, and there's 3 people in a conference room. Other individuals are telling me that they're having to lug around their computer and their office equipment every day from one cubicle to the next.
State officials say they're working with departments to make the return to office as smooth as possible. Workers say they're also concerned about longer commutes, more traffic, and higher gas costs. The state auditor has said telework saves taxpayers about $225 million a year, but so far the governor has stood by the mandate.
Nice to see you again. I mean, it'd be nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. Nice to run into you in the hall.
This is the crowded site in front of the state capitol Wednesday morning, the first day of this RTO mandate. State employees are not only upset that this mandate is in full swing, but they're now also alleging the governor of doing this for political purposes.
I voted for you. I have stood with you, and now you're not with me.
Would you vote for him for president?
I would not. And that's a consensus that's felt amongst everyone else here.
Is Governor Newsom burning bridges with labor unions like yourself?
You know, relationships are a two-way partnership. I mean, if I was looking to the future as a current boss now, I'm not sure I would want him to be the boss of federal employees either.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers are also pushing back. An assembly bill now moving through the state Senate would require departments to justify why employees need to work in person.
It's really interesting that the governor has found a way to piss people on all sides off, right, with this. The legislature has made it very clear that we want state agencies to have flexibility when it comes to remote work.
Now, we did reach out to the governor's office to ask if there are any political goals behind the mandate, why he stood so firmly behind it, and his reaction now that it is in full effect. We did not hear a direct response. At the state capitol, Jenny Huff, News 8.
Jenny, thank you. Right now, we are closer than ever to a verdict in the murder trial of Larry Millette. The prosecution rested yesterday, and the defense finished today.
Now, closing arguments are set to begin next week, and then the case of missing Chula Vista mother Maya Millette will be in the hands of the jury. News 8's Jenny Day has the latest from outside the South Bay Courthouse.
Let me start with the latest. Larry, in his own words, confirming he will not testify. Now, the prosecution took about 6 weeks to present their case, calling 67 witnesses total. The defense took today and today alone, starting with 2 volunteer dog handlers who have been assisting the sheriff's department find missing people, dead or alive, since 1994. Day 26 of the Larry Millette murder trial provided testimony from these two canine handlers who have dogs trained to detect human remains. They searched the Millette home, garage, and backyard 16 days after Maya disappeared and testified there were no hits, no evidence of human remains. Prosecutors argued the dogs are only trained to find bodies, even a drop of blood or buried bones, but not solely the scent of decomposition. For example, if a body is moved, the dogs might not solely pick up the smell. The defense also called a private investigator to testify who said he analyzed every camera in the neighborhood just a few months ago, so 5 years later, and conducted an experiment to see if someone could enter or leave the Millette home without being captured on camera. He says it's possible, but would have required Maya to jump over her backyard fence and walk through a drainage ditch, possibly, though, leaving on her own free will. The prosecutor's case has always been that Maya wanted a divorce. She was having an affair, so Larry killed her, possibly shot or poisoned, then dumped her body in the desert. The defense again saying today there is no evidence a murder has even occurred. No blood, still no body, and no solid surveillance video showing where the accused killer went for 12 hours without his phone the day after prosecutors say Maya was killed. Much of the case is circumstantial. Thousands of spells cast showing Larry desperate to save his marriage for months, then none the day after she went missing. Friends testifying about his control and Maya's plans to divorce, phone records, internet searches, her credit card found in the backyard fire pit, but no actual smoking gun. Yeah, both the prosecution and the defense are done. Closing arguments will be on Tuesday. Again, Larry will not testify in his own defense, and then we will soon have a verdict. And I'll say it again, both Larry and Maya's sides of the family are here in court every single day. In Chula Vista, Jenny Day, News 8.
Thanks, Jenny. No cameras are allowed in the courtroom during the trial, but we do have experienced reporters there every day. You can stay up to date with the latest developments online and on the go with the free CBS 8 streaming app. Gas prices are dropping, but your wallet still took a hit today.
California's gas tax went up by 2.2 cents today as part of the annual adjustment for inflation under state law. The state's excise tax now sits at 63.4 cents per gallon for regular and 48.2 cents for diesel. The average price of gas in San Diego County is down to $5.47 a gallon, which is the lowest since March, but about 80 cents more than this time last year. Despite the higher prices, AAA expects a record 4.3 million people in Southern California to hit the road for the holiday. News 8's Shannon Handy is working for you and has some tips on how you can save this holiday weekend. That will be ahead in the next half hour.
Nearly 300 new parking meters are now up and operational in the San Ysidro Business District. It's near the border. New parking rules took effect today. The rate is $2.50 an hour with a 4-hour maximum. It will be enforced Monday through Saturday. The city of San Diego says revenue collected from these meters will be reinvested directly back into San Ysidro for transportation and safety improvements.
We are now just 3 days away from all of the 4th of July fun across the county, and preparations for the amazing fireworks displays are well underway. 400,000 people are expected to pack the coastline to watch this year's Big Bay Boom.
But as News 8's Steve Price shares, there are several other free fireworks shows across the county as well.
Setup is now underway for this year's Big Bay Boom, Southern California's largest fireworks show with over 2,500 shells. And here's what you can expect this year. 11 months of planning for 18 minutes of action.
It's the most beautiful place in America to shoot fireworks shows is San Diego Bay.
For Sam Brugama, it's totally worth it. He's been producing fireworks shows for 30 years, and without a doubt, Big Bay Boom is his favorite. And he says this year's display, celebrating America's 250th anniversary, won't disappoint.
Lots of stuff with the movements, the whistles, the tourbillons, the farfallis, the stuff that swim away. There's lots of action hits to the show.
Over 2,500 shells fired off from 4 barges. The show starts at 9:15. Chula Vista always hosts a big 4th of July bash, and this year will be no different, with the fun taking place at the Elite Athletic Training Center.
It's going to start at 7 o'clock to come in, and fireworks will kick off at 9 p.m. We're going to have food all around here, so bring your empty stomach, as well as we're going to have a bounce house for kids.
There are free 4th of July festivities all across San Diego, including in the North County Oceanside's combo fireworks and drone show at the SoCal Sports Complex. And in Vista, Brengle Terrace Park traditionally fills up fast with fireworks starting at 9. Out east, the options include Santee fireworks at Town Center Community Park East and El Cajon Show at Kennedy Park. But those are just a few of the shows. On our website, CBS8.com, we have a full list to help you find something in your neighborhood. Without question, Big Bay Boom will be the biggest, with 400,000 people expected to show up. But no matter where you go across San Diego this 4th of July, you're sure to have a blast. Steve Price, News 8.
Thanks, Steve. Thousands of San Diegans are getting a pay raise today thanks to a new law.
We're going to have details on that and some other state laws taking effect today. Plus, we will share some food safety tips to keep in mind if you're hosting a 4th of July party.
And a look at what officials are doing to keep people safe as millions of Americans brace for record holiday heat.
We're officially in July, and to kick off the day, very similar forecast to what we had yesterday to wrap up the month of June, with some stubborn clouds right there along the coast. But we are looking at a little less of that coverage as we go into next week. We'll take a look at why coming up.